Hi all, thanks for joining today's session and thanks Pune Tech community for arranging this Women's Day event and uh, thanks to Smita and Nandeep for giving me an opportunity to talk in the session. With that, I am getting into the last topic for this session, which is simplified workflow utilizing Power Automate to populate the word templates, where we will be discussing how do we use the Power Automate to have the word templates being used inside it, and we will be seeing how do we connect it and automate it. Before I get into the session, let me give a brief introduction of myself. I am working as a senior software engineer for food, and as Smita told, I am an Microsoft MVP. Uh, I got it recently, and Microsoft certified for more than 3 years, and C Sharp Corner MVP. And I am a blogger and author at C Sharp Corner. You can get in touch with my blogs and article. And this is my LinkedIn QR code. You can scan over here and get in touch with me. With that, the agenda for today's session is we would be seeing Power Platform and what is Power Automate and introduction. And apart from that, we would be seeing what are the connectors that are available in Power Automate and what are the connectors that are used for Word template. And we would also be seeing a small demo on the same. And I would be taking up the Q&A. So Power Platform is not something new now. Power Platform is almost a combination of all the things, and we have many things being evolved inside it as well. So inside which we would be seeing the Power Automate, which is used for developing the workflow automation, uh, wherein we would be seeing what we can do with the Word template, and Power Apps is used for the um, mobile and web development, and Power Virtual Agent is used for chatbot and conversational agent, which is not something available now, wherein we can go ahead and use it in Copilot Studio. And Power Pages is used for connecting the external websites, and Power BI is used for reporting. And we have different connectors being available inside the Power Automate and Power Apps. And one such connector will be Word template, which is what we would be covering by today. So, what do we do together for a complete RPA solution? Is like we would be integrating almost everything, which is Power Apps or Power Pages or Power Automate. All will be put in together, wherein we would be storing it in an dataverse, or we would be connecting it from some um, from either it can be from SharePoint, or we would be putting our data inside some place, and we would be getting the data from there. So that becomes the complete RPA solution. And from that, what we can do is we can try to automate with all these things, and it can answer your it can itself by uh, it can itself by when you give the template to Power Automate, it can try to do by itself and send a email, such that you can also put it under the Power BI and can visualize it as well. So what does this Power Automate do is that we have two different things in it. One is Cloud Flow and one is Desktop Flow. Cloud Flow is something which runs in cloud, and it will be using connectors for it. And it can use the desktop flows inside it. Whereas desktop flow is like which runs locally, and it will be using the actions. And it can also have it can also create by using the user rec- you by recording the user actions inside the desktop flows. And the recorded flows can be then used inside the cloud flows, and you can interact with the local missions when you are using the desktop flows, and inside the cloud flows you would not be able to interact it, whereas whatever that has been recorded, you can go ahead and put it on the cloud flow. So why do we need Power Automate is like the end-to-end intelligent automation for all, and it provides it is used to automate UI with RPA, and uh, it is also used to orchestrate APIs with the built-in connectors that are available, and there are n number of connectors which are available, and we can go ahead and use those connectors, and that and it is something like more than 1,000 connectors are being available from which we can pick up um, our re- our connectors based on the requirement, and we can go ahead and use that. So how do we do that is like what can we do with the Power Automate is we can go ahead and build the Power Automate flows, and we can also like like for an example, we can instantly respond to the high priority notification, or simply in case of the the example that what we took, we can go ahead and use the word template, and from there with the help of the word template we can try to automate it by sending it to the manager and make it approve, and then send it to the participants. So we can also try to automate those things, and we can copy the email from the attachments of OneDrive, and we can send it over there. And these are some things that what we can try to do with Power Automate. And when it comes for connectors, like as we were discussing, we have n number of connectors that are available, and we can go ahead and use it. It is not restricted to either cloud services or files or database or web APIs. It is almost a combination of all these things together, wherein when we want to connect it with Teams, or when we want to connect it with OpenAI or ChatGPT, we have different connectors being available, and we can go ahead and use those connectors. So the basic of building the fundamentals is that we will be having the dynamic data, and we have the dynamic data variables, looping, error handling, conditions, and expressions being done inside the building the fundamentals. Whereas when we want to loop in our, say an example, for when we are about to use the word template, what we do is we would be setting up the dynamic data as what we want to give it to the participants. We are now considering a use case that with the help of the temp with the help of the word template, which will have the certificate of participation, and from there we would try to put it inside the OneDrive or some storage inside it. And from there what we try to do is we would try to consume uh, that file as the template, and that file will be acting as the template, and it would be sending mail to many participants over the mail, and it will be generating the names and everything by itself, and it has to go for an approval, and then it would be sending up a mail. So this would be the scenario that what we were trying to use. So for that, the um, flow of building fundamentals is that we would be choosing up the dynamic data to be the participant's name, and variables to be like what we have tried to be selected inside the word template. And looping is like looping for the different kind of email IDs that what we have, right? So we would be looping that. And for error handling, we would be checking if there is something which goes wrong in between, and we would be adding the conditions as well, like uh, if we had if we had sent an mail to the previous participant, then we should not be sending it again. Or if the email ID does not seem to be something, if it's something to be fishy, then we would not be sending to them. So we would be adding conditions like that. And we would also have expressions, which is like we have to add in the SharePoint, and we have to add in the add in whatever the data that what we need, right? So we will be adding those expressions also being inside it as the fundamental flow, for building the fundamental flow. And apart from that, we have connectors being available inside the Power Automate, which is like which is like which used to populate a word template, wherein which is used to have the word template being populated by itself. And from there it would, when you give it a word template, it would try to act as the template by its own. And from there you can go ahead and use it for the further word that, I mean, further templates that what we want to have as well. And another one that what we have is convert Word document to PDF, which is when we have a Word document and when we want to convert it to PDF, we would be going and using those things. And these are some things which are available online, which is connectors, which is available as Word online. And we would be going and using that connector and will be connecting those things. And until now we saw of dry part on what all these things do. Now let us get into the part and see how does we connect it to the, okay. When we log in inside the inside the portal, we would be seeing, okay, let me start. Okay, first of all, we need a template that needs to be created, for which we need to take an example from the word itself. Like we have, when we create on new, we will have a certificate template being available under the templates of Word, right? So we will be going and using that. And when we click on that, we will get the basic template that is available, and we can change on what that needs to be done. Say in example, we have to change this particular sentence. So what we have to do is we have to first enable our developer. We have to check if we have developer been enabled inside the Word. If not, we have to enable the developer. And once that is done, when we go inside the Word, then we will have the things being available here. These are the controls which it can support on. And when we click on this particular thing, that what we have to change, then we will get the controls that can be supported. And this is a plain text, right? So when we click on the plain text, it would be popping up with the plain text, and from there we can go ahead and use it. Also, when it's been selected, you can also have the properties being there, and you can map the title, and you can tag the values which are there. So once this is all done, you would be doing it in the similar way of all those things. And like the name that what you have to map for, and the signature will be given in the format of the sign that is there, and which is the gallery part when it comes on. And you would also give on date as text format. And when it's all done, you would be I mean, for all the things you have to map in the tag and title. When it's all done, we have to ensure that this is being saved, and this is placed under some storage space wherein I had used OneDrive for now. One second. Okay. Once I had stored that, I had stored the template inside the OneDrive here. So from there we can go ahead and start using the same. So what we have to do now is that we would be going inside the Power Automate, and we would start building the same. So for which what we have to do is like we would be creating an instant cloud flow, and we would be generating a name for the same. Okay, and we would be selecting the manually trigger a flow. And once this is done, we would get this part, right? And next step is that we would select for the word. And when the word is being selected, populate. Okay, there are different things which are available for Word to be selected, and one such connector that what we would be seeing for today is the Word Online, wherein we had saved it inside the OneDrive, right? So we will be going and using the Word Online business, and with that, from there we have those two things that what we see. What we had saw inside the slide as well. Populate the Word template and convert a Word document to PDF, and out of which we would be using the populate a Microsoft Word template. And when we had clicked on it, it would be allowing us to select the document location, document library, and file that it has to go through. So since I had stored it under OneDrive. Okay. Since I had stored it under OneDrive, I would be choosing with the OneDrive flow over there, and will be going and choosing that. One second. Let me open up the. Yeah. Uh, we will be choosing OneDrive here, and once OneDrive is being selected, we will have to select the um, it is OneDrive for business, and this is OneDrive, and we would then select the file that needs to be created. And once this is done, we would then go to. I'm not sure why it is not connecting. Just a second. Okay. Once we had selected this, we would get into we would then we had now given the word template for it, and post that what we would do is we would add for the email that needs to be done. And when the email is being done, we would be selecting like it has to send a mail, and it would be sending a mail with the format. And before that we have to validate the things, right? So for which we would add in a SharePoint for it. And when the SharePoint has been inside the SharePoint, we would be listing up the sign, and then we would also give the email IDs and everything that needs to be added. And once that is all done, we would validate the same here. So we would be using this for sharing, create a sharing link for a file or folder. And from there, we would be putting this inside the template. And from there, we would go ahead and create a template for the same for every user. And we would then go ahead and use it. So this is simple way that what we can go ahead and use, or we also have a different way of, yeah, one such way is by using either the word that it can convert into the premium version of the word. It can go ahead and use it, which is like we can put it under the DevOps, or and make it as a template. And from there we can go ahead and create an item over there, and from there we can pick it up and we can go ahead and use it. So these are two different ways that we can use the word template. And from there we can use the templates. Sorry that it is not working. I am not sure of the exact error that I will look into. I will look into it and will. Mm, okay, it has been connected. Once it is connected, it would be showing up all the fields that it has. And we had mapped on those values inside the template, right? So those templates will be the tags that whatever we had listed will be listed over here as well. Say in case we had listed the certificate uh, title, certificate title being listed here, and that certificate title will be listed over here as well. And it would also allow us to give the name of what it has to populate in the upcoming things as well, in the upcoming flow, that what it has to do. And if it's a common name, then we would be going and giving the common name over there. If it's a dynamic one, then say in case name is kind of a dynamic one, right? So we will be having the name being generated, which can be either from the SharePoint, or which can also have some, say in case we have saved it in the notepad and had pasted it in SharePoint, and from there we can go ahead and use it as well. So it would be looping up, and will be select when it loops up and selects the value, it will be changing. So that's the way of dynamic expression that it can have. So we have to give it under the dynamic content. And when it has been so this happens for all the things that what we need. And we have to give for all the things that what we had mapped on here inside the word. say in case we have name and then we have this sign as well, right? So we can put the sign inside the SharePoint again, and from that SharePoint we can use that and paste it over here. And date can also be a different one. So these things can be done. And once this is all done, if you don't need something, then we can go ahead and delete that parameter here as well. So these are some things which are repeated. So I am deleting those things. And once this is done, we will we will have the parameters that are needed. And you had now set up with all the templates that it needs to be done for the word template to be populated. And from there you can start using start using it to either send mail or um, to send some or use it for some other purpose as well. Uh, okay. With that, is there any questions that I can answer for?